The quickest way to ruin a person is to be addicted and disgusted at the same time. This involves compulsive addiction to certain things like endlessly scrolling short videos, smoking, drinking alcohol, binge eating, reading web novels, and staying up late for revenge during these activities. One doesn't actually feel very happy, and even knowing they are harmful, one still can't stop even when they do stop. They don't feel relaxed or joyful, but rather a deeper sense of emptiness, pain, disgust, and self-blame. Behind these behaviors, which we both crave and loathe, lies psychological distress. This means that when someone experiences negative emotions and feelings like loneliness, stress, anxiety, depression, boredom, or sadness, they try to cover or relieve these emotions through behaviors that quickly release dopamine. When a person frequently experiences negative emotions, their instinct to seek pleasure and avoid pain becomes dependent on these behaviors, turning them into addictions. For instance, people who often feel irritable and anxious are prone to smoking addiction. Those who frequently feel lonely and bored are prone to addiction to social media. Those who often feel stressed and depressed are prone to binge eating. However, these behaviors only temporarily alleviate negative emotions. When the behavior stops, the happiness disappears, and the negative feelings return. Perhaps even stronger, we then feel compelled to rely on more addictive behaviors for defense, thus entering an endless vicious cycle. So, the truly terrifying and most harmful aspect of addictive behavior is not the consequences of the behavior itself, but the dual torment of negative emotions and self-loathing that we repeatedly endure. These behaviors become an almost uncontrollable form of mental self-destruction for our addictive behaviors. The real issue we need to address is not how to quit and control the behavior itself, but to learn how to relieve our inner pain. Otherwise, even if one quits the surface addiction through willpower, as long as the root of negative emotions is not removed or the inner real needs are not met, new addictive behaviors will inevitably arise. Therefore, when the urge to engage in addictive behavior arises, or when one cannot stop the behavior, first close your eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Then ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped doing this right now? This step serves as a speed bump for impulsive desires, allowing reason to address the real problem. Once the craving is under control and subsides, feel your true emotions and inner desires at that moment. Then ask yourself, why do I crave dopamine so much right now? This step is about finding the root of the problem, seeing your real emotional issues and inner needs. Only by facing the root cause can you find the right solution. First, if your addictive behavior is due to negative emotions, you can choose more positive ways to replace the addictive behavior. You can establish an emotional buffer zone that suits your situation. When facing negative emotions, the correct approach is not to suppress or cover them with pleasure, but to completely ignore them and shift your attention away from them. Once you stop actively focusing on and feeling negative emotions, they will gradually fade like waves. Therefore, it's very important to establish hobbies that bring positive feelings. Even if you don't like exercising, you can choose to go shopping, clean the room, or pet animals. In short, engage in activities that don't focus on negative emotions. Among many hobbies, I highly recommend going outdoors, connecting with nature as much as possible, going hiking, fishing, camping, or even taking a half-hour walk or bike ride in the park. Try to leave environments that trigger addictive behaviors and find healing energy in open spaces. Secondly, if your addictive behavior is due to emptiness and boredom, and you just want to fill the time void, then choose activities that promote self-growth and have a positive impact. Or healthier ways to rest. For example, unfollow all dopamine-stimulating fragmented content on social platforms, and only follow quality information sources that enhance cognition and broaden horizons, as well as travel and lifestyle content that brings peace and joy. Make sure using your phone brings positive influences rather than meaningless waste. You can also replace browsing your phone before bed with reading a few pages of a book, as reading can provide a sense of acquisition and achievement, more so than mindlessly scrolling through your phone, compensating for unmet emotions during the day. Additionally, if your addictive behavior is because you need to be seen, understood, and supported, then find a relationship that makes you feel safe and comfortable. Find someone you trust and like. Let them accompany you, chat, have meals together. High-quality interpersonal relationships can also nourish us. Emotional connections between people, love, and care can greatly fill our inner loneliness and helplessness, making us feel securely supported, preventing us from falling into a self-destructive mental state. In short, whether through more positive and healthy hobbies, more beneficial pastimes, or more affectionate interpersonal relationships, we can break out of the vicious cycle of compulsive addiction and self-loathing to quit addictive behavior. We don't need to stay sober and restrained all day. What we need to do first is love ourselves, clearly see our pain and trauma, and bravely face our emotions and needs. Then find better places to settle them and relieve inner pain finally. If the above content cannot help you escape pain and control addiction, remember this: facing life, the important thing is not to heal, but to live on with regrets and courageously coexist with pain.